here we have another BionX battery. I've had this in before, but it was a while ago. I think it's the really old version where they actually have a charger charging the battery. Yeah, 37 volt. Anyway, he says it's from about 2012, 37 volt, and it has poor capacity. Opening these ones up is very difficult. Many times when we receive this lock is damaged as well. But this one seems to be working. And why go with any standard lock? No, when they can invent their own. I'm actually looking for these push pin locks for another customer. So if you know what these are called, let me know. Yeah, that's how you lock it. I remember we had these on a cargo bike, and then they were in this position, and the lock was slightly broken. So every time he ran over something, it was a bumpy road, the battery would like jump up and down and lose contact with the bike, and he would have to restart it. Yeah, is there 4 screws? And there are 4. So, it should be open now, right? Fairly easy. We're just beginning. Preserve all these 4. They are kind of easy to replace, but you don't wanna. We're gonna remove everything that can become a problem when opening it up. This sticker, that's about it. Like, you should be able to push it open now. No? There's something holding it in place. And there are a couple of prongs over here. There's no silicone or anything. Because maybe it has been opened before. This locking plate also, now this one is actually symmetrical. Usually they are not, but this one you can put in any way you like. And this was fairly easy. And BionX that isn't giving me the fingers right away. And maybe it's because one of the roller ones. I don't know if anyone opened this up or if just that the silicone has decided to not be that adhesive. And here you can see we have the small size BMS compared to the larger one, which had a charger built into it. I don't know if BionX added this. There's a large temp sensor. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is why BionX, or BMS, that the actual company in Germany is named that manufactures them, is not to be trusted with, because they build batteries without BMS. This is the non-BMS version. As you can see, there are just 3 wires going into the battery pack, positive and negative, and this one goes via temp sensor, which is close to the positive, and they have an additional temp sensor. That might be fine when you're working with NIM. It's definitely not good, but it's not okay with lithium. And they have Sony cells, but anyway, building a battery without the BMS, it's not a good idea. So we're gonna have to put an additional small size BMS in here. That's usually how we do it. And there's actually a little bit of room, or is the charging port is over there. Here is where a small size BMS can fit over here. So that's what we're gonna do. And then connect it to all of these things. Let's just first, before we begin anything, when I confirm that it's actually charging. And from what I recall, these chargers are nothing special. I think the last pin, the yellow one, is just a loop-de-loop to fool you. Come on. Okay, nothing is even connected, and they're just so evil. Yeah, really. And if you know anything about chargers, you know that positive is always connected to pin 1 and negative to the last pin on XLR. In this case it's the 4, on the 3 pin it's the 3rd. And they did it in reverse, so it wouldn't work. But they're not super evil. They did not connect the negative to the 4th pin, so you would short circuit the battery if you tried an aftermarket charger. Only the high price BMS original BionX chargers developed by High Power Technology in Kunshan Not the worst kind of charger, but not the best kind either. They're in the middle. So this is how you connect any 36 volt charger to charge your BionX battery. This old type, yeah. Don't let them fool you. They are not selling this type of chargers anymore. The third wire, why it's even connected, it might be for diagnostic, because BionX loves that kind of crap. So, yeah, we were about to test if the charger worked. That also verifies that the BMS can take a charge. This one, red, power on, red, green, charging. And yeah, it has a little fan, how cute. Is it a fast charger? No, they didn't know to have a fan, but it did. Oh yeah, you need to push this one, take it out. And remember people, it's important to save the earth. So you should print it on your chargers, yeah. Yeah, this is from an e-bike for new, so. It actually takes a charge, so, and there's no water damage. Unsure if it has been opened before. And I usually like to preserve the BionX stickers whenever possible. This is a super sharp new knife, so we'll be very careful. We will just take a peek until the customer confirms that you want to do a repair. You can see that the config is fairly simple on this one, and we will try and do a full repair once he accepts, because there are not many people that repair BionX. The only ones I know is Swiss Volts in Europe, so during high season we usually refer them to Swiss Volts. Yeah, here you can see fairly simple config. These are very low capacity cells, but good ones. I think they are less than 2 amps new. I think they are like 1.8, so it would be about 10 amp hours, 8 or 10 amp hours. Fairly low capacity as new, but we can upgrade it to 20 amp hours with modern cells. So that's usually what the customer agrees to. But we can have lower capacity anyway. Gonna need to have the extra BMS. This one is a fairly easy BionX, but time consuming. So we will tell the customer the good news. We can do an repair attempt, but if something goes wrong with the BMS, we can absolutely not be held responsible, and then he has to buy a new bike, because that's the BionX warranty. If you break it, buy a new one. So the customer gave us the go ahead for 17 amp hours 5p, so we will start with it right away, so we can do it on video all in one day. I will take time. Hopefully this will take less than an hour, because then it's lunch and I don't want to be interrupted. Should be able to lift this one out. Now there's padding on the other side, silicone that has not been. Yeah. As you can see, using holders would be quite difficult, so we will see how we will do it. Yeah, here is, can you see that? Yeah, there's a negative temp sensor enlarged underneath. Here's the positive one, and this one has been beeping every 15 minutes because maybe it knows that it has been opened. And this one is connected to the negative, and just a temp sensor goes into the PCB. So we will desolder them. Yes, so camera trouble. Is it recording now? It doesn't tell me when it stops recording, so I'm a little bit angry with the camera. That's the way. Yeah. We can cover this in barley paper as well, just to make it a little bit nicer looking. A little extra so it can adhere to itself. Yeah, what? Somewhere around here. Nice! Already we have a better looking battery with almost twice the capacity. Now gonna put on the nickel. And as you can see, they have probably some kind of pre-cut, and there's absolutely no reason why you should have 6 individual strands like this. Because if there's 6 cars going across these lines, sure, they can have each separate line, but when they come to the exit and entering point, there will be a line of 6 cars. So unless they would have 6 access points on those 2 as well, and this one, all of those are super unnecessary. And they have, I don't even think they added 1 extra. So they have just basically 1 line between the blocks and here. So all of this is just a waste of nickel. But if you have these precuts laying around, great. This is most likely for 250 watt legal e-bike. Yeah, I don't know if BionX did powerful motors. Their motors are so large because they are direct driven. I do not have a nickel cutting machine for this, so I did some extra pieces. And 88 was a little long because we do not have any holders. Like 82 or 83 would have been perfect, but it works. And there's a lot cooler method you can do by zigzagging all over this way. But we will do it the BionX way. We won't complicate it. We will have connection in the bottom. We do it the same. We don't want to experiment finding better configs on such rare batteries. We will copy what they do with better cells, and hopefully it will last twice as long. I'm shouting, and am I? Yeah, I'm gonna pause the camera and go fix this. Yeah, that went pretty fast, and you can just shine the nickel through the top light of your roof, whatever that is called in English, and look that every connection is okay. And then we will start with the smaller ones, and we will have this one over here. It should have been there in the first place. It's the first time, and I will have an extra one. Oh, I'm bleeding, like usual. Yeah, and we will just have 2 ones. You don't need to add blood on them, but that will be our signature battery. Bloody wolf. Nothing is naked over here. Yeah, that's right. We'll use that a little longer and be right back. Now we're done with the nickel. We won't have soldering ears. We don't dual layers here. And I was thinking of having these connection for the positive and negative. Like some kind of cat mustache. Yeah, I don't know. So, BRB. Launch starts in 25 minutes. Will I make it? As you notice, the BMS, the BMS does not have BMS on their BionX batteries. Let's just check if there's any imbalance on these ones. 3.4, 3.4, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44, 3.44. Yeah, it's really amazing that cells have not been in unbalance at all for almost many years. That's a little bit amazing with the Sony cells, but we will add a BMS so that it will balance it. The first time we only used Sony cells because we thought that was a must when we doing the BMZ, but not anymore. Let's see how the BMS is connected. Yeah, negative ones over here and the positive one over here. No problem, we will have the BMS over here. You should not solder directly on the cells, but if you can solder like this for just 1 second, there is no heat going through the cells. It just maybe 5 degrees or more does it increase when you do it this quick. And now I was not symmetrical, I'm sorry for that. It's not that hot. If it's not that hot on the top side, it cannot be that hot on the underneath. Yeah, fine. Fine. So, now we have the connections we want. And let's go ahead and make, this one should, that looks fine. Score line. Nice. This is like real boob silicone. It's really, really soft. They really did spring for that. Expensive one. Here I guess it's a date code 2010 0810, so it's like 10 years old. So now we will actually test it before we put it back in the case. We should have had dual port, yeah. Sorry. Is the green one for charging? No. Does it say? It just has TP3, so it's probably temp sensor. I remember, no? Yeah, it's for charging. The green one is for charging only. You can see it connected there and there. Do they have continuity? Continuity, I think it's called. They have continuity, so it just goes straight through, and the little temp sensor is the only thing doing anything. And yeah, it wouldn't make sense to do discharge via this small wire. This one is input to the BMS. We will connect it, it's just so complicated. We will connect it to the charging. We won't be charging via the original BMS, so we will cut off. There's the discharging. So they can still get data from this one. Yeah, it's too thin to be any type of charging. This is just for external data monitoring. Or maybe the later found some charger they went with. So that one we don't need to connect, but this one And then we have an extra temp sensor. And also this one. It's like 5 strands thick. Nice. Yeah, that's a good config, a good solder job. This one is connected properly. And gonna isolate it. Yeah, you should have same port charging and discharging. That would have been best. This one we can tape down. And want to disconnect that one to discharging. So good connection. I need to do something with my tape cutter, it crumbles them up. Now we're gonna connect the positive one. First let's... And from what I recall, sometimes there can be a little inbrush spark when connecting the last wire to the BionX BMS, because it has several capacitors and stuff. So let's have a look at what happens. No. Yeah, there it was. Yeah, I fucking hate you. Hold shaft. Ow, and it's super hot, but I made it. Let's just see if we wanna take a charge. It is red and it should turn orangey. Takes a few seconds. Yeah, turns orange and the fan starts cooling. So good job. Yeah, the camera is turning off for some reason, but we added silicone and heat shrink tubing and a lot of other things. Now it's time to add the lock, which could go in any direction. Open the top a little bit. Have that one going so. Nice, pins are aligned. That one is aligned. And we should also have the locking pin with the spring, please. Yeah, doing this in less than 1 hour was kind of silly, because it's these mechanical parts that stress you out. I really hate BionX. Yeah, now the lock and the connector and the case and that pin. Now we can push it together and get the screws and get the hell out of Dodge. Let's just see that everyone is equally long, because why would it be? They're actually equally long. Gonna put one like that and hold it in place. And why do I not have the right one? I will go ahead and take a hex instead. No, Torx. And to place them in the holes, these one are deep, so you have to place them correctly. Like that, and the bottom side, another screw. Of course, I lost a fucking screw somewhere here. Yeah, but I will go get a new one, but it's almost complete, so I will do the top one and then go to lunch. Just 5 minutes late. Yeah. And these prongs can sometimes be damaged, so we usually put a little tape over here and we can have super glue. You can't really open them without damaging the prong. BionX knows this. It's designed to break when you take it apart. They're not like any competition. Just like Bosch. So now we'll set it and let it rest, and I will go eat. And the clock is 11:35. So we missed the goal with 11 minutes. So it's 71 minutes for a BionX battery. Thank you for watching. This is how we do it. We don't like it, but we can do it because we feel sorry for the customer that was fucked by BMS and BionX in buying their extremely expensive stuff with basically no warranty, because the company went under and BMS won't do anything to help. Finish up this. Just remove these ones. Real nice. And we will cut off any excessive glue. I don't have any gray electrical tape, so we usually do a black one. I actually ordered black electrical tape from China and received gray one, but now I can't find it. This is for added water protection. Yeah, and it's they talk about dirty things, my employees, instead of working. We will add, well, I think it went pretty well. Not as well as to do it in maybe Germany or Switch, when they have a stick up their ass when they do stuff. Everything has to be perfect. But then the result isn't any good, so let's check that the voltage, you can see, and right, it was pin 1 and 3. And these are connected to our BMS, so you should get the reading. Yeah, 41.23, that is almost fully charged. So, I'm very happy with this. The customer will be very happy. We cannot verify and that it actually works on the BionX, but since everything else is working, we will give it to the customer to try it out. Don't tell me the locking pin is... No, because it needs to be... Yeah, it works, it works. You had me there for a minute. You had me there. I'm no fool. Why did he give me 2 keys? Yeah, nice. Working. Excellent. BionX, everybody. And this one doesn't even have the BionX sticker, so it might be a really early one, as you saw inside, from 2010.